right, Dax Chisholm. Casey Hunt. Carolyn Fela. Brian Bateman. Mr. Ed Vining. Daniel Wolf. And unfortunately, another member of ours that was very important, Cassandra Matus, who was not able to be with us tonight. So,
our mom, Adrienne Evans.
I didn't bring the bag tonight either. So I want to start by turning it over to Carolyn, who's going to talk a little bit about some of her perceptions, but also how we spend our dollars and what that means also in terms of our tax dollars.
The thing that had the most impact on me when I was there was the first day when we sat down and we were on our little groups. This was like, you know, there were people, we have a wonderful team, and the team represents the Human Rights Memorial, Human Rights, SECU, SEIU. Okay, so we have people that are actually important. I'm like the resident in Democracy Now! These people are important. I was the resident North Ender that showed up. And so the thing that I was the most impressed by was, this is a group of people. Superheroes do not all wear their underwear on the outside, because the superheroes are us. So I do a lot of work with little kids, so I'm going to address it this way. Show me with your hands how big government is. Participation is what this is all about. How big is government?
It's pretty big.
Right? That's crap. Government is just a big word. It's just a big word. Every time we say the government and the politicians, every time we make them nameless and faceless entities, they keep us exactly where we want to be. We're keeping ourselves where they want us, which is powerless. And the government is so big, and we are just us. The government is just a bunch of people doing a management job. And they're not really managing really well, because they don't have the rest of us doing what we do well. We're in charge. We have all of the power. When I was hanging out their first day there, I was hanging out with all these Grammys from Chicago. And boy, you did not want to piss off Grammys. You don't want to piss off grandparents. I am a grandparent. My kids may end up having to fight for themselves, but my grandchildren. So one of the things the Grammys came up with is that we're losing what's wrong with the government right now that is being unattended by us, because we're the people that are supposed to attend to the government, is that we're losing the means to take care of our own. And that's what we do. We take care of our own, especially in Boise, Idaho. This is the most amazing community I've ever been part of. And I've lived a lot of different places. I don't sit still. I didn't mean to shock you with that. I don't sit still very often. And Boise is an awesome community because we take care of our own. We have a number of, we have Think Boise First, we've got CSAs, we've got food growing, we've got people that just offer their farms, their homes to all of us. And we're probably pretty unique in this country. And one of the things the Grammys were talking about is, how do we get the 1%? How do we invite them to join us? How do we become a unified country again? Because if we are the 99%, we're only 1% away from a unified country. And so there's things that we can do. Government's not this big. It's a big old nebulous word that makes us feel powerless. But what we do is we keep an eye on them. There are pages where you can go, if you have any internet stuff at all that you're doing, you can find people that say, what's going on with the legislature? What rules are they, what laws are they passing? You can be like a little crumb and figure this stuff out, because our community has people that will help you if you want to know what's going on. There's also a lot of the problem that we have with economic injustice is that there are very few companies that produce everything and run everything. And I have this big list. There's this page on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, or an internet site called the People's Boycott. And we will put a link to UAI, to this document. But there are pages and pages. I have a couple pages, I have a couple copies. Companies that you just don't buy from. We just don't buy from them anymore. Because what the corporations are doing is they're taking all the money and they're spending it on things that we don't want the corporations to spend money on, which do not serve human needs. They don't serve our needs at all. So we have to be really attentive to how we spend our money, and it's time for us to be really powerful. And this is the time to be very powerful. And when you shop, be mindful. When you do, every little tiny thing you do with your day-to-day is going to change the world. Everything you do is going to change the world.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to be first. I thought I was going to be the closing act here. So this is get a hold of me, get a hold of the website. There are little pages. Find out what you can do in your day-to-day life to be a citizen of this country. The rights that you have are your responsibility to maintain. These people don't have power. They're little weird men in little weird suits and little neckties doing what other little weird men in little weird neckties tell them to do. They are not any different than we are. So the power is in all of our hands. How you shop, when you shop locally. Shop locally.
Yay.
The way to keep our economy going, the way to keep things going is if there's something you need, somebody that you know, somebody in this town can get it for you. You can buy things here. That when you spend your money, know every time you spend your money, know the name of the person that's going to take your money. If you don't, think about whether or not you need to buy that stuff. Sorry, I forgot it was a bar. There's no smoking. So, I'm going to stop talking.
The Economic Justice Team needs volunteers.
The Economic Justice Team needs volunteers. And you guys, we are the power. We have been powerless for too long. So we are the 99% of the nation. All we have to do is just be attentive. All we have to do is keep things in line. Please be so kind as to... I haven't looked at it yet.
Adrian,
Right when I know...
an iPad that blows that away if they want to interact with that as well.
I know that you're more interested in becoming part of your life, which is why you're here. And we'd like to help you focus that. So remember, I know that right on the top of your mind you're thinking, I would like to become more involved. And here are the things I'd like to become more, I am interested in being involved with. Right here. I am not prepared for this part.
Fill that out. Let's see.